Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're doing another interview with someone that's so awesome. She's going to share her story with us about anxiety. Um, and yeah, so we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you a little bit about what she's up to in life right now.
Hey, my name is Jenny Segmiller. I am 27 years old. I've been married for almost 5 years. I have a 3-year-old daughter, Mackenzie, and a 4-month-old son, Colton. We just bought our first house the first week of June, and we're loving it. And so, yeah, we just live in a small little one-story house, but we love it because we have a backyard and my kids are able to run around and play. And I do teaching English online for VIP Kid, which is the most popular English teaching online.
All right, cool. So tell us about your mental health story, kind of where it started and then up to today.
So, I feel like my mental health has always been an issue, but it didn't become self-aware until after I had my first child. So once I had Mackenzie, and was going through postpartum, I feel like it really elevated my anxiety. So growing up, I always was the type of person that was like worst case scenario thinker, where I was like, oh, like this is gonna happen. Like I always have to plan for the worst case scenario. And so I think just once I had the realization that I was responsible for a human being, I think that it elevated my anxiety because I was responsible for this human life, this person. And so my anxiety was just, I have to be the best mom. I have to make sure I give her the best life. And I have to live up to the world's expectations of what the perfect mom should be. And so I think that really just put my anxiety into a new perspective and a higher elevation to where I ended up having to start taking medication for it.
You mentioned one coping strategy, medication. So, how
Yes.
has that medication been going? And are there any other coping strategies that you have found that have helped you?
So the medication helps a lot. It doesn't make it, it makes it about 50% better. Um, and another thing that I've done to help is do counseling. But we moved, and so I haven't gone to counseling since we moved. But I used to go to counseling once a week just to kind of talk my feelings out um, to someone that like wasn't a parent or someone that wasn't a friend that like didn't really like know me all that well, so that way they could just listen and hear me out instead of having a side to kind of go off of. And I felt like that was really hard at first to go to counseling because in my head, going to counseling was always like, oh, like you have a mental illness, like you're crazy, like all this stuff. And so like to get help for it, like I didn't want to like tell people like, oh yeah, I'm going to counseling, because then people are like, oh, like you need counseling, like you're not stable enough to like handle your own self. And so I had a really negative um outlook on it. But then once my husband was like, oh, like it would really help our marriage if you like started going to counseling, and then I did it to help our marriage get better.
Yeah, and along with your husband, um, it leads right into my next question is what have others done that have helped you in getting through this? Whatever.
um so I just have being able to have friends to like text and know that there I have two friends here that are moms of four, they have 4 kids. And so my little things of like, oh, like Kenzie wasn't potty trained by like 2.5, like them being like, oh well, my kid's like 3 and is still not potty trained, just being able to have like other moms that are like, you know what, like it's okay if your kid isn't potty trained because my kid isn't. So it's just able to have friends to like fall back on. And then um I think what also helps for my husband is that he will kind of like nicely be like, okay, you're getting a little crazy. Like he like lets me know when I start to like get it. And so he'd be like, okay, like you need to go sleep. Like, or like sometimes like I will know my own triggers to where I'm like, I need more sleep, or oh, I need to go work out. And so my husband will be like, all right, go work out, or okay, like I'll watch the kids, like go take a nap. And so he's really good about like taking over the kids for me while I like just have like me time, because I feel like if I don't get some me time every day, then my anxiety is a lot worse because I just have so many thoughts in my head. I can't just like focus on myself and decompress.
Right. Oh, no, totally. I totally agree with that. I've talked to a lot of people who have friends who struggle with mental illnesses, and a lot of things, or a lot of them say that they don't really know how to help someone who has anxiety, depression, OCD, whatever it is. Um,
Hmm.
what would you say would be the best way to support a friend who has a mental illness?
I mean, I can't speak for like OCD, because I don't suffer from those, but at least for those that suffer with anxiety, um, I think one of the things to like not do is to say like, oh, you're overreacting, or oh, just get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Because my husband has said that before, and then it makes it even worse when I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Like it's not a big deal, but yet like in my head, I feel like it's a big deal. So I feel like just having, just if you have a friend with like anxiety, just to let them know like their feelings are valid, and that like what they're thinking like isn't crazy, like they have a right to think that, but that um maybe it's not so bad, or just help them like be like, yes, I understand, like that can be stressful, but here's a positive side to that stress or to that negativity.
Oh, I love that because yeah, and I don't have anxiety, but I have depression. It's the same thing. Like it's easy to find the negative in everything. And it
Yes.
feels like a lot of the time like there is no positive. So it's nice to have someone on the outside of this saying like, hey, but remember this, or what about this thought, or maybe think of it this way. It's always uh helpful. Awesome. So the last question we have is, what message would you give to someone who's going through something similar?
You're not alone. You're not crazy. Um, I think that the biggest thing I feel is that you are not your mental illness. And I want, no matter what the person is suffering from, I just want them to feel like they're, even though they may suffer from this mental illness, it doesn't define who they are. Like they aren't depression. Like for example, like you, when I found out you had depression, like it blew me from a storm, because it just doesn't, it doesn't cross my mind as that. And to me, I don't see, oh, you're a depressing person to be around. Like I see you as a joyful person, as a fun loving mom,
Mhm.
and all this stuff. So I just feel like the most important thing for people is I want them to know that they are not their mental illness.
Totally. That, oh, love that. And I totally 100% agree. It's just it's just a piece of them. It's not who they are, just like you said.
Yeah.
Love that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jenny, for your words and your optimism. I love your story, and anxiety is such a big thing out there, bigger than we might realize, and so it's good to hear these stories of hope that it's okay. It's going to be okay. There's things that will help you out there. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. So thanks again for coming and watching another one of my videos and having this fun time with Jenny and hearing about her story. If you'd like to share your story about your journey with a mental illness, my contact information will be linked down below, so feel free to contact me about that. Also, I have an Instagram, and so go follow that as well. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.